I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Yep. It's getting real. So, if you've seen in the title, this video is about picking up Asian women here on our lovely island of Guam. And I just love the way my hair just does that crap right there. But yeah, starting off, purchased a luggage Samsonite. I got it fairly inexpensive, like 50 bucks. If you're gonna try to buy luggage, or basically, if you're gonna buy anything at Ross, I suggest buying at the Micronesian Mall. Why? Is because their pricing is actually a lot different than the one in Guam Premier Outlets. They're actually a bit more fairer or cheaper than GPO. I don't know why. I went to both stores last night because I was gonna buy a luggage at GPO, but then their stock was like almost bone dry yesterday. So I went to the mall, picked this one up, and I've been going there for days. Like for the past few weeks, I've been going to Ross, looking at luggage, trying to decide which one I want to get, what kind of design I want to get, and whatnot. I narrowed down my pick to this brand called Boyt, B-O-Y-T, mainly because it was a very expensive brand. Their 29-inch spinner normally costs 525 bucks, but Ross had it listed for $99, and I was like, if I'm gonna go, right, I might as well go in some class with this ballistic weave nylon sort of design. It looked like it could take a punch. It looked like it could take a knife stab and not penetrate. That's how good it looked, right? And I liked the design, and I liked that it was like, you know, it was kind of flashy even though it's cheap. Unfortunately, when I went to GPO, it sold out. All they had was like a duffel bag, and they even ran out of the Samsonite that I was looking at. Then I went to the mall, found this one, 50 bucks. It's a 31-inch, pretty big. That's what she said. Hilariously enough, I just came from Ross today, and they had a whole new shipment of freaking luggages and like hard shell Samsonites, but their pricing was a bit more, like around the $80, $90, $100 range versus the mall's 50, 60, 70 range. So the mall is a bit cheaper. So if you're gonna buy stuff from Ross, I suggest checking out the mall first because their prices are a bit better. Back to this video. Back to the title, picking up Asian chicks. Now, why am I making this video? Well, to be completely honest, last week, a friend of mine, a coworker of mine, hit me up and he's like, hey, we're going out tonight. I got these girls. Let's, you know, show them a good time or whatever. And truth be told, I've always wanted to try this. I've always wanted to try a tourist out, a Japanese, Korean, Chinese, it doesn't matter. A tourist. It's like a bucket list or whatever, just to try it out. You know, a lot of us have that Asian fetish, okay? Don't lie to yourself. You know you have an Asian fetish. I can see through you. So yeah, before I'm gonna go, right, to California, I might as well just say, hey, you know, screw it, let's try it out, right? So we went out, had a decently good time. Unfortunately, it didn't end in, you know, like happy ending, okay? But it was a learning experience, and I would like to pass off that learning experience to you guys, my viewer, my loyal subscriber. I made a video a long ass time ago that kind of dealt with this topic. If you're a nice, good-looking, confident, single gentleman and you want to hit on some nice Asian tourists, I would think that Guam is the place to go, right? Save up some money, buy that plane ticket, and come on down and get yourself a nice, good old touristy time. Because Guam, #1 economy, happens to be tourism, followed by military spending, okay? So Guam takes out these big, like, price cuts on airfare to, you know, from Japan, Korea, China, whatever, to come here and spend their hard-earned money that they acquired where they come or where they live here. So we're trying to get them to spend their money as much as they can on this island to feed people like me and everyone else living here. So first step, obviously, is to be here. Right? That's what makes Guam different than, like, say, Hawaii. Hawaii caters to Americans, right? That's the American type of island, paradise, tropical, whatever, that Americans want to go to. Plus, it's a lot more cheaper to go to Hawaii than it is for them to come from America to Guam, all right? I looked it up. Now, Guam is considered Hawaii to the Asian side of things, okay? It's cheap to come here. It's cheap to visit. You know, you can have just a nice, good, tropical paradise time like Hawaii, but but on like a smaller scale, okay? Guam is a U.S. territory, if you do not know. So we are part of the America system and whatever. So Guam is also a way for Asian tourists to sort of try to get, you know, an experience of that American life. There is this thing, there is this sort of stigma or a word that people use to people like me. I'm not saying I am one of these, but I always wanted to try it out. But basically, guys go out of their way to sort of pick up or hit on specifically Asian tourists, and most likely or not Japanese tourists. And basically, they treat this as their job, okay? So they put in a lot of time, a lot of effort to sort of hook up, right, with these 1, 2, 3, 4 Japanese groups of women coming to Guam to sort of just have a vacation. And so they kind of like scout them out. I don't know, right when they come out of the airplane or whatever. I don't know how they, you know, get them, but they approach them, say, hey, I can show you a good time. I can take you to places, you know, I know the lay of the land, and they might speak some Japanese or whatever. They might know the language, which is basically like the biggest advantage that they have over a person like, say, me, is that they speak fluent Japanese or whatever. They use that. And, you know, the Japanese tourists are like, okay, sure, you know, whatever. I'm only here for like 3, 4, 5 days anyways. I might as well make use of my time and just have a good time, okay? So that's the setup. Japanese tourists, Asian tourists come here on these short vacations, right? 3, 4, 5 day vacations. They just want to get away from their busy, you know, life from where they come from and come here, sort of enjoy the sun, the sand, the surf, and the nightlife. And that's what these guys do. Earn the term Nampa, N-A-M-P-A. And I sort of built on that acronym, meaning nasty ass men picking up Asians. That's not how it, you know, that's not what it really stands for, but I just kind of thought of it that way. But that's the basic gist of a Nampa. You are sort of like a male gigolo, prostituting yourself to these tourists, offering your time and energy to show them a good time. And in return, these tourists would like maybe pay for your food or pay for your drinks or pay for something, gifts or whatever. And then most likely, often or not, pay you in sexual payment, you know, sexual Bitcoin, if you will. So that's sort of their job. Now, you will know who these guys are. You will see them. They stick out like sore thumbs, okay? There are these guys, and then there are these tourists, right? Something does not fit. Something does not belong. That's more often than not a Nampa, okay? You wouldn't expect these guys to be with these group of girls, all right? So these are the Nampas. These are the guys that are going out of their way to approach tourists. And the real, like, dedicated ones, the real ones that make it their living, usually look the most shittiest. They don't give a fuck about what they look like or what they're wearing, okay? The ones that I've seen, the true pros, you know, the ones that've been in it for years, they're going out to clubs in like flip-flops, basketball shorts, tank top, baseball cap backwards, not really giving a fuck what they look like, and they're just got their arms around the girls like, hey, you know, let's have a good time. You know, those are the guys that I've seen over the years that kind of piss me off a lot, okay? I'm seeing these guys, these ugly, nasty looking dudes. No disrespect, no offense, but you look nasty and ugly, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Perfect, but why am I not getting this? You know, why am I not getting in this action? I could do way better than this guy, okay? Obviously, like I said before, the advantage that guy had is that he can speak the language, okay? The language barrier is what kind of holds me back from doing what they're doing. Because how can you know, carry on a conversation if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? So here are some steps that I've thought up of while doing that encounter a few days ago with my friend. Now, anyways, like I said, he hit me up, kind of basically needed someone to be there with him, you know, because he had 4 girls that he happened to just hang out with. I think first step, of course, is having a reason to be around them, right? You can't just be some dude hanging around a lobby of a hotel just waiting for a group of girls to just be coming out looking like they want to go out and looking like they have a good time, and they just walk up to them and say, hello, excuse me, half a day, how you doing? Would you like to, you know, would you like a good time? I can show you a good time. Let's go out now. No, you know, you need a good reason to be there. And I think the number one best reason that you could be to hit up on these girls is a server job, one that I happen to be in, and a server job located in the heart of Tourist Central in the village of Tumon. Now, Tumon is basically Tourist Central, tourist headquarters. It's where all the major hotels are, all the restaurants and shopping and whatever. They are all located in Tumon. So if you can get a job, whether it be in the hotel or the restaurant or whatever, located in Tumon, you already have a leg up on everybody else trying to get at least in the view, in the sights of tourists. Now, with that said, second thing, because you have this server job or whatever in front of tourists, you're gonna approach them, you know, do your thing, your job, whatever. But then on the side, you know, when you have a little time, speak to them, right? So the second thing I think you really need is at least a basic understanding of their language. You don't have to be super proficient, but as long as you can just get to where you're going, right? Things like, you know, how are you doing? You know, Genki desu ka or Daijobu, or how old they are, you know, Nansai desu ka, or what's your name? Onamae wa, birthday, you know, Otanjobi desu ka. I'm not too sure if I'm saying it entirely correctly, but as long as you can get the basic gist of what you're trying to get across, I think that really helps. And with technology, you can always use your phone and Google Translate and whatever. That's what I did when I was trying to talk with these girls. It's like, I don't know that much, but as long as if I can get just a basic start to the conversation, normally it'll end up being better because you know a little Japanese and they will know a little English. So at least you can get a little dialogue going. So that helps break the ice, get the drinks flowing maybe, and get, you know, the love train moving along. A thing that I heard while talking to some of my friends, because like I said, my coworker, he just asked basically this group of girls that came in, hey, would you like to hang out with me and my friends or whatever? And they agreed, right? So we rallied the troops, 4 guys, 4 girls. We went out to a club, got some drinks, got some talking, went to a beach, this, that, da-da-da-da. Just go around, right? So you're gonna, 3, I mean, depending on how badass you think you are, you're gonna need a friend. Somebody to help sort of talk to the other girls, okay? More often than not, if you don't keep at least 75% of them entertained, there's gonna be one of them that's gonna just pull the whole party down. There's gonna be one of them that's not happy, that's gonna be like talking to their friends like,
hey man, I just wanna go, you know, I wanna get out of here, I don't wanna be with these friends.
Sadly, we had one of those when we went out. There was this one girl that just wasn't happy, wasn't feeling it, wasn't entertained, and sort of just like kind of just pushed everyone out and said, hey, I kind of want to go home right now. I want to go back to the hotel. Let's go, right? So you need to keep everybody happy. So you yourself can, if there's a group of 4 girls and just one guy, you're gonna have to divide your attention. Well, you know, I can't do that. I'm not Superman, so obviously you're gonna need someone, you're gonna need backup, you're gonna need help. So if you can at least get 1-to-1 ratio, I think things would be okay. But unfortunately, you know, we had a 1-to-1 ratio, but still this one girl, you know, she's the mom. She was the responsible one. Proud of her for taking care of her friends, but we're just trying to have a good time, right? Right? A tip that I've heard while discussing with friends, the sort of debrief that all friends have after the fact that, you know, once the girls are gone, you're gonna like meet up and just talk about it and discuss, you know, just trying to point out pointers and stuff. A pointer that one of the guys said is like, if everything's based on numbers. If it's a group of 2 girls, they're more likely or not down to do something. 3, it's gonna be less likely because there's gonna be that odd person out, and then it just gets worse the bigger the group is. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna scout, try to scout for the one with the less numbers. You don't want them over 9,000s out there just kamahamaheha you out of the game. That's a tip that I've heard. All right, so we've got the starting, get a job in the area to have a reason to be down there. 2, a basic knowledge and understanding of the language. That way you can get the message across. 3, wingmen. You're gonna need it no matter what, right? If you're gonna try to pull away one girl from a group of 4, those 3 girls are probably gonna overpower you and not leave you alone, right? But if they're all distracted, the more power to you, right? 4, you're gonna need a game plan. A game plan. What to do, where to go, right? And try not to space it out too much. Try not to let any lag happen. Try not to make any boredom happen. You just gotta keep it exciting, fresh. My eye is itchy. Ugh. That was one of our problems. We were trying to figure out what to do after the starting point. We gotta drink, right? We had them at least drink once. There is the telltale sign right there. If they're willing or non-willing to drink. The more you drink, the more open you get, right? The less, more reserved you are, the less often you're gonna, open for business, so to speak. So, that's another tip. Gauge them. Are they willing to do this? Are they willing to do that? Are they drinking? Are they not? Are they more talking to themselves and ignoring you? Or are they having all their attention towards you? It's almost just like a regular, relationship or a regular date, just with not very good language skills. And like I said before, these people are here for 3, 4, 5 days at a time. So they're compressed for time. They just want to have a good time. Another thing that I've learned from a coworker of mine who used to be, pimp master extraordinaire based on the stories I heard is they are here on their time. So you gotta let them basically decide. You can't pick which one you want. You gotta let them choose who they want. If you're interested in one, but they're not interested in you, it's just a losing battle. You just gotta wait, see which one likes what. And if they don't like any of you, then you just gotta start all over again with somebody else. 5, money. You're not at that level yet where you can get these tourists to buy everything for you. And most of these tourists are getting younger and younger, meaning that they don't have the expensive money bags that the older generation does, right? They're not actually willing to spend more, they're actually willing to save more when it comes to doing stuff. So with that said, you are gonna have to make the effort to either, pay for the gas to drive them around, or pay for their food when you're going out to eat, pay for the drinks, pay for most things, right? And on top of that, you're probably gonna have to pay for all of them, unless you and your friends split the bill. But more often than not, you're gonna wanna try to buy a round for everybody to be the nice person. And that costs a lot of money. So be prepared to spend money. These are not dates that you're trying to have with people that you can see over a long period of time. These are gonna have to be quick, actionable dates because they're only here for so little time. So time is of the essence. So, with that said, hopefully this little primer will help you do better than it did with me. Okay? Because at the time, as you saw in the previous video, I wasn't feeling that good. I was feeling sick. I was trying to have a good time, but the way we did things, it wasn't all that great. We went to a bar that was too loud. It was hard to talk to them because you're like, hey, how are you doing? Eh? Are you okay? Huh? Do you want to drink some more? Honto? Right? That was already a bad plan. We went to some place that was playing too loud of music, and on top of that, the fucking DJ was fucking like commenting on our, on us. Oh, look at these guys, these lucky guys, they're hitting on a tourist. Good luck out there, boys. Like, come on, man, don't fucking put the focus on us. That's kind of fucked up of that guy. And then after that, we were just like standing in the parking lot like, okay, so what do we do now? We tried to throw out different plans. Do you want to go dancing? Do you want to karaoke? You want to do this? You want to do that? But they just didn't look interested. But we didn't want to just itch. So, we went around and drove and stuff. But like I said before, nothing happened. So, with that said, that's the little story that I had today that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully it helps you in your endeavors. If you're a girl, there are male tourists that do the same thing who are actually a lot more willing to do stuff because, hey, they're guys. If guys are getting hit on girls, local girls, then hey, what the hell, man? Might as well, right? Hey, so you may have it a lot easier what I did or I had or whatever. Anyways, pretty soon I might have to be on a little YouTube hiatus while I do my whole moving stuff and whatever. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Love, peace, and chicken grease.